I would have voted against both of them, especially the second one because it was full of earmarks. This was supposed to be the most ethical Congress in history, and now they're voting for earmarks for raceways and for other crazy stuff. Puerto Rican rum, that's what it was. It's just wrong. I mean, the Congress has really gotten into a moral morass. They just aren't making decisions like they should. A long time ago, they should have addressed this issue. And I'm sorry that they waited till now and, backed away from what they should have done earlier. But I would have initially tried to get the private sector to start investing, buying some of these mortgage-backed securities. And the best way to do that, I think, is to cut the capital gains tax, eliminate it, for a period of time to encourage loosening up of private capital to come in and buy them. The other was to increase FDI insurance to make it unlimited so that organizations wouldn't be taking large deposits out of banks, and we wouldn't have bank failures. We wouldn't have us tightening up a credit because the money would still be in those banks to lend. And then also the whole issue of marking securities to market when, again, we don't know what they're worth. And so some of these banks appear to be undercapitalized as a result of that. And so I would have changed those three things right off the bat. See what happens. Let the market try to correct itself and private investors to loosen up capital flow again without coming to the taxpayers for $700 or $800 billion that we just don't have.
So you would have made it a last-ditch effort?
Yeah, that was a last resort effort that they used as a first resort, and I think that was a mistake.
Okay. Then my next question is, why exactly are you running for re-election?
There's a lot of reasons. First of all, I've been in the private sector practicing law and working with private businesses that are, selling and buying each other, and most of them smaller businesses, some family businesses that are looking to upgrade, borrow money, that sort of thing. And I've learned a lot more than certainly a congressman is going to know about how things actually operate in the real world again. And now I used to practice law. Before I went to Congress, while I was a state senator, I was practicing law. So the private sector is what's important. These are the people that any congressman represents. And what I see is that there's a complete disaffection with Congress. Speaker Pelosi, on the first day said this was going to be the most ethical Congress in history, and they've come in, and sitting members include a guy who's indicted for taking bribes, where money was found in his freezer. It was the same money that was marked by the FBI that he took as a bribe, allegedly. And then there's a guy who's under investigation for tax evasion, and he chairs the committee that deals with tax policy. Those people are sitting in Congress. This is not an ethical Congress. It wasn't an ethical Congress before. I would be re-energized to go back there and work to clear out people, to stand up and take a stand against people who are abusing the public trust, because otherwise people will never have any respect for the Congress.
So after you're being off for a few years, you think you'll be an even better congressman?
I know that I would be. I'd certainly, there are things that I would do differently. For example, I would vote for things that cut spending. I would force us to do that. While I was there, I did vote for smaller budgets, but then when we negotiated with the Senate, they always grew. I think what we need to do are find ways to actually check spending. One of them is to sunset every program so that we would have to look at them. Does this program work? Things sound great on paper sometimes, and in practical reality they don't work. So it's important for the Congress to review these things, make sure they're operating properly, and if they're going to put money back into them in the next budget year, then make sure they work for the people. If they're not working for the people, get rid of them, because it's the people's tax money that they're wasting.
All right.